Hello and welcome to episode 162 of the Truly Daebak Show. This is a bi-weekly podcast where the two of us come together every 2 weeks to discuss K-pop and whatever's current in the K-pop industry. This week we pretty much got a pretty plain, vanilla review episode. We got a bunch of interesting releases to talk about this week, so that'll be interesting. It seems like I have the wrong overlay up right now, so you guys are spoiled on the first thing. But you'll probably see that in the title of the podcast anyway, so whatever. Anyways, as always, I'm joined by Nate.
That's my novice. It's my novice. You lead. We follow.
Yes.
Yep.
aespa. They're lyrical geniuses.
Yes.
All right. And I'm Jacob, #no blown out. And yeah. So I guess first thing is again, just want to remind everybody in early July, what was it, 10th and 11th, or is it 11th and 12th?
We're on the 11th.
Yeah,
it's 10th and 11th, but yeah.
We're on the 11th we'll be appearing in the K-pop Social Night podcast fest, which is like online K-pop podcast event that they're hosting, and all the ticket proceeds and stuff will go to charity. So yeah, buy tickets if you can. So yeah,
the early link is still up. It got pushed back to June 6th, so next week.
Okay.
So you can still get your tickets for $5. If you did get a ticket before, you'll have to rebuy that ticket. You should have got refunded because there was an issue. But you can still get that $5 discount, or get it for $5 early. It'll be $15 afterwards.
Yep. And again, the proceeds and stuff like that will be going to NAMI, the National Alliance for Mental Illness. So it's a pretty cool cause to support. So yeah, look forward to that. And yeah,
and last weekend I did unboxing. As you can see, I'm wearing a Dreamcatcher robe, which is ridiculous. A ridiculous thing. And I'm going to take it off because it's way too hot. But that's the thing.
Sith Lord robe.
Got a cool design on the back.
Matches the light stick.
Comes in a ridiculous bag, like a nice bag. It has like gold.
It's like actually rope. like a velvet like bag.
It's fake. It's like fake velvet.
Yeah, but that's what they're going for, kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I unboxed 14 NCT albums, so that was fun. I got out of the 14 albums, I think I got 8 of my biases and photo cards.
Nice.
It was almost all the Dream albums. I got Renjun, who's my bias now. I got 10. And I got 10 in my only Wavy album that I had in that group. And then I got Doyoung, I think, in one of the NCT 127 albums. So it really good luck. And I also unboxed the Dreamcatcher concert merch and the Uju Sonyo 4th fandom kit.
Cool.
So yeah, you can go check that out. The VOD is up.
You can check that out on our YouTube channel.
On our channel. Yep.
Cool. So with that, I guess we can open up right into our usual first segment, which is what have you been listening to the past couple weeks?
For me, it's just stuff we're reviewing, plus a lot of NCT. And what else was I listening to a lot that we're not reviewing? There was something, and now I'm blanking on it. Oh, just Uju Sonyo Black, stuff we reviewed last week, basically. Yeah. Or last episode.
My listening is basically just I'm on the
aespa.
Next level. Yeah, I've basically just been spamming aespa constantly. As well as again, so I guess as well, mine's mostly stuff we're gonna talk about. In particular, I've been spamming a lot of aespa and then listening to the Heize mini album quite a bit. So yeah, I'll have quite a bit to say about those. So yeah, I guess that's kind of a perfect segue right into our first review, which is of aespa's new single, their first it's not really their first comeback, but it feels like it's their first like full comeback.
Yeah, the ballad didn't
Forever,
really count.
because Forever is kind of a half comeback, I feel like.
Yeah, they didn't promote it or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they went on music shows at all with
They
it.
didn't.
They just did some in-house performances. Yeah. So yeah, basically first comeback. I believe they're going on music shows at least. I'm banking on it because I need that.
Yeah,
8K,
I think so.
I need that 8K KBS fan cam for next level. Yeah. Anyways. So yeah, basically this is like their first like in concept comeback with next level, where basically in pre-release we got this like whole like SM culture universe or whatever, like SM
Kwangya
cinematic universe or something like that. Yeah. SMCU. We got the first like episode of that, which is titled like Black Mamba. So basically like explained a lot of the story, I guess, or kind of showed a lot of the story that's supposed to be happening in this.
I don't know. I don't pay attention to it. I just know there's a lot of lyrics related to it.
Yeah. Did you watch it?
No.
I check it out.
I started.
It's more interesting, I think, than most K-pop lore, where it's just cryptic stuff. Mm-hmm. I do think the delivery of this could be way better, but I like that they're at least like trying to just do like it's literally just like a plain story. They're just telling it like through these videos and stuff. It's not like, oh my god, the when V kisses the angel in blood, sweat, and tears, it represents this, like, you know, like that kind of thing. Like
that's your K-pop fan voice.
Yeah, it's just random person voice basically. So basically, like they're not doing like cryptic like metaphors or representations or anything in this. It's like just like they're literally like have these virtual avatars that are like trapped in a certain world or whatever. They have to go and well, I don't know if
use their name. They're Novice. Novice.
Well, Novice is the hold on. This is so convoluted. The like terms are so weird. So I think the flat is where
is the flat the
flat
virtual
is,
world.
Well, flat is so not quite. The flat is the place where you see aespa and Novice like standing around or whatever. That's where aespa
together.
Yeah, that's where the eyes go, like when they're not like out, like that's when they're like in the virtual world. They're in the flat. Okay. And then Kwangya is like the greater virtual world, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Like it's the actual world. And then I still don't know what Cosmos is. I don't know what Cosmo is. I think it's supposed to be where they're trying to get to now to fight Black Mamba or something.
Oh, okay.
And that was also mentioned in 90s Love by NCT apparently.
Wait, really?
Yeah, Cosmo and Kwangya are both.
Oh shit. It's coming together.
Yeah, it's literally like, oh my god. Yeah, so there's a ton of these like crazy like terms and stuff that they're kind of just casually like throwing out in songs without like totally explicitly saying what they are.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, to get to the point where I was trying to get to is at the end of that like whole cinematic universe episode 1 thing, there's like this whole like it goes into the like webtoon style where it's like a comic, and it makes me think that maybe they're gonna like release like a webtoon about like aespa, like their characters and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That actually makes me excited for this stuff. That's why I'm like that's one of the things that actually makes me excited about the storyline, because if they actually release like a full comic that they release every week, I would totally follow that. Like I would totally follow that all the time. But yeah, anyway, like that whole
oh god.
Oh, did you look up the 90s?
I found a lore explanation.
Oh, okay.
I thought Novice was their digital versions, but it's not.
No, Novice is the person who opens the portal in the Kwangya from the flat.
So, so eyes are the avatar experience. Kwangya is the place where they live. Sync is the connection between aespa and aespa or whatever.
Yeah.
Novice is an AI that guides aespa and their eyes. Flat is where they can coexist.
Yeah.
POS is a portal that their AIs use to go to the real world. Recall is the time allotted for aespa and aespa to interact. and then Black Mamba is the villain. And then this doesn't mention Cosmos because this is from Black Mamba.
I don't think we actually have a definite like explanation for what Cosmo is. Because this is the second time it's been mentioned, but we still don't know what it means. So I think this type of K-pop lore is stupid, but it's actually I think it's kind of more fun to follow because it's less cryptic and it's
defined.
More just like it's literally just like a really basic story, and it's like okay, cool. And the lyrics of the song is literally all about them like trying to go to Cosmo or whatever to fight Black Mamba.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's cool. I know a lot of people probably would find it like cheesy or whatever, and that might put them off. But personally, for me, I think that just makes it like dumb fun.
Yeah.
Like I think you could liken it to like just like in movies, like the MCU. Like they're not like these cinematic like deep masterpieces that you have to like sit about and ponder to understand the meaning of. It's just like it's surface level, but it's fun, and it's fun to be engaged in and talk about and stuff like that. So I'm not sure if SM can totally nail this, but I'm still really intrigued so far. I think it's fun, and I think this is more or less what I actually want them to, where I want them to go with something like this. With the so not to like talk about the cinematics too much, but
let's say more about the song.
Yeah, well, there's one last thing. Is basically I feel like they're not gonna, if they don't do like the webtoon thing, I feel like they're kind of doing a sort of loose like story that you kind of have to piece together. Like the pieces are definite, but we don't actually know like what the timeline looks like, kind of thing. So what that actually, I was saying in Discord, what that actually reminds me of the most is like in games like Overwatch, for example. Like there's no story mode in Overwatch, right? But Overwatch does have a story through these like cinematics that Blizzard releases.
Yeah, they have these shorts
over time. Yeah, and they're kind of these like, it's not even like a linear story that you follow. It's more like these like concentrated like anecdotes about each character that like you kind of look upon. I feel like aespa's like lore might be something like that, where it's like this episodic thing where each arc is just like a different sort of thing that unfolds. I feel like it might be something like that because I don't know how they're gonna be able to make all the groups interact, because I feel like they're not gonna like just overtly have aespa and NCT like interacting in a music video or something.
Yeah,
like I feel like they won't do that. I mean, they might for all we know, but I feel like they're gonna go with something that's relatively like episodic, I guess. Because also I feel like the story is pretty concretely like centered around the eyes, like the avatars and stuff. Like that has nothing to do with like NCT, even though they were talking about Kwangya and Cosmos and their 90s love song, so yeah. Anyway, all that out of the way, because that's like the convoluted stuff that's like needs all this explanation. And yeah, it's interesting. I'll follow it. We'll see what it ends up being like, I guess, like a few years down the road, if they even like keep doing it.
Yeah.
Because SM, I feel like they tend to like drop their gimmicks after they realize that people don't really care.
Nobody
about
cares.
it. Yeah. So,
but they've never gone this hard into it before. So
yeah. This is like a pretty concrete thing. Like they literally will have to like cold turkey just stop doing it if they ever do quit. Like doing the lore stuff, I feel like. But yeah. Anyway, so the actual song, Next Level. I love this song. It's super weird, and it's super like people have been comparing it to like I Got a Boy, just because I feel like it's not a similar song, but it's similar in that it's like weird and just takes these like 90-degree turns.
Yeah.
And
it's
really
not as crazy though.
It doesn't have nearly as many sections, so that's why I feel like the comparison's a little bit weird, but
yeah, same.
I kind of get it. Because really it's just in that like double
it's just
bridge.
The bridge.
It's a double bridge. Like there's one bridge and then they add on another one right after that. So background on the song is this song was originally released in the US, or like in Western like English pop circles on the Hobbs and Shaw, which is Fast and Furious movie, like soundtrack. And I feel like nobody heard it anyway. So like, yeah,
Yeah.
it originally was released there, and that's the same like demo that SM used, obviously. And for the most part, besides that double bridge that they inserted in there, the song's pretty much identical, except like I listened to the like original version after like aespa's Next Level came out, because I didn't want to be spoiled listening to it first. I didn't want my like opinion to be influenced, I guess, basically, like if I didn't like the demo, even though the like SM almost always like tweaks the song in some way that like significantly changes it. In this case, it was the double bridge that they added. And then not to mention also, I feel like the production on aespa's version is like significantly better than the original. Like like again, besides the bridges, the structure and stuff is the same on the old one, even like the bass note and stuff that they use, but the vocals on aespa's is much more like crisp and clear and forward on the mix, whereas I feel like on the original it's kind of muddy and a little bit like low energy, I guess, compared to aespa's version. So yeah, aespa's version I've been completely addicted to, because it's like it's so catchy, and I feel like it is the energy of it that like kind of makes it addictive, like the just I'm on the next level. It's just, I don't know, like as soon as I heard it, it was stuck in my head all day and I just had to like loop it. So yeah, I love this.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. It's not really what I expected at all after the last song.
Yeah.
And it's weird. It's like you said, it's different. Like I agree with you where like I don't really agree that it's like I Got a Boy, but I get where people are coming from.
Yeah.
But it's just so weird because the song is like 75% of the song just like doesn't have a melody at all.
Yeah, I think the more apt
it's all rapping.
I think the more apt comparison is to something like Zimzalabim, where it's a little more abrasive for some people.
Yeah.
From like the weird like sections and stuff that might be, I guess, kind of amelodic. Like it's just not, And again, it's got to be like, for me, like I will like complain all the time. You'll hear me on the podcast complain all the time about like choruses that have no melody and stuff. Like I find a lot of that boring. But this I think is really catchy, and it has like a dynamic to it that to like the delivery of their rapping and stuff that makes it like super catchy. And I think that's one of the main things that makes this successful, whereas I feel like the original was kind of a failure.
Oh, you mean I didn't even listen to the original. So
yeah, listen to it later. Yeah. It's like the same thing, but like low energy, in my opinion, at least. Yeah, I feel like it's much worse.
But yeah, that's basically what I was gonna say, was that despite it having no melody, it's still like one of the catchiest songs I've heard in a long time. Yeah. I really like the staccato nature of like the Next Level line. And I think the synths fit really well. And then the bridges are just out of nowhere. They just go off vocally. It's like this glitchy jazz section, and it doesn't make any sense with the rest of the song, but it somehow works.
In like the second chorus, it just goes off into this like retro direction randomly.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But I love that part just because like I feel like most people do though, because we got to see like Ning Ning and Winter's vocals together. Winter has like a one note where she kind of growls into it, which I actually really love that. And then surprisingly, Karina, her like rapping, it was way better than I expected actually. Like she got a whole rap session like with Giselle, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think most people that didn't like the song liked that part.
I think because
they wished that was the actual song.
Yeah, because that whole part was all Yu Youngjin like SM stuff. So
yeah,
it makes sense.
Yeah, but yeah, I like it. Pretty much the same thoughts as you. I don't, but like, I get why people don't like it.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. Also, the teasers were the best teasers we've ever gotten. Oh, the teaser photos.
We have to.
They're
talk
not really
about those.
The photos.
Yeah. The original
Heavily
teaser
edited.
photos and stuff that they released, they used the photographer that they ripped off, or that their visual director ripped off for the Black Mamba teasers. So they actually hired him to do their teasers, and this is better than like anything that the Black Mamba teasers were. And the Black Mamba teasers were already like really, really awesome, in my opinion. So yeah, go and check out their like pre-release teaser photos. They look so much better than the music video ended up being. So I wish that someday aespa will make a ton of money and they can make a music video that looks like the teasers. That would be so crazy. Yeah, so go check those out for sure. Those are, like we were saying in Discord, like those they're literally like the best teaser photos I've ever seen. So yeah. And I'm not being hyperbolic when it comes to the teaser photos. I might be like over the moon and biased on this actual song, but the teasers like objectively are just fantastic. So yeah, check those out if you haven't seen them. They're really cool. I believe the photographer's name is Brian Hun. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his last name wrong or right or wrong, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So yeah, overall, love this.
Yeah, it's a good single.
Apparently they're probably going to release a full album, their next comeback. So
I hope release something that I can buy.
Yeah, me too. With a really good photo book. I hope they get the same photographer again, because if he does a full photo book, that's gonna be fire. So, or at least like a significant portion of a photo book. But yeah. So I'm really, really, really excited to see what aespa has to offer, because they kind of have me like so excited to the point where like I haven't been this excited since like for like a brand new group since maybe like G-Friend debuted. So like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm super, super excited for them. All right. So yeah, we talked for like 20 minutes about one song. So
I mean, you talked for 20
I talked for 20 minutes about one song. So
I like it a lot, but not nearly as much as you do.
Yeah, I love this. I'm super excited for aespa, if you can't tell. So yeah, if anybody's a super aespa fan, you can join our Discord and annoy people by talking about it all day with me. So yep. All right. So up next we have Fromis Nine.
Yeah.
New single album.
Yep, they have a new single album, 9-Way Ticket. And it starts off with airplane mode, which is not the single. But it's just a nice like mid-tempo pop song, soft vocals and some nice intermittent piano. But then like I was not expecting the drop chorus for this. And I thought it was great. There's just like an awesome bass line that just builds the song. Like that just did not like it fits with the rest of the song, but it just was not expected based on the parts before it. And I like how a lot of the vocals are in a lower register. It was just a nice like mid-tempo jam to start the album.
I kind of wish this was the single. I feel like I rather would have had this for the MV. Because I feel like this was definitely the best like song on the single for sure, in my opinion at least. I love the way that it just like it builds up with their more like high pitched sort of vocals, and then it drops down into the chorus with more like purposely low end vocals that are more like you said, like it's like a slower tempo too in the chorus. I loved the like impactfulness, I guess, of that. This is like one of the most interesting songs they've released in a long time, I feel like. So yeah, I really like Airplane Mode.
Yeah, I get why it's not the single. It just doesn't have the energy that like
I could see it
the
like
single has, and like that's what Fromis is known as or known for.
On like mainstream Korean radio, also something like that probably wouldn't like chart all that much, because they tend to prefer like stuff that's more like repetitive, catchy sort of stuff when it comes to like mainstream K-pop. That is.
Yep. Going to the single, it is much more of that. Like it's a much more upbeat, poppy single that like similar to what Fromis like is known for. I think it's just a really solid pop song. Like, I don't think has anything that like stands out like crazy about it, but I really like it. I think the hook is really great. It gets stuck in your head really easily. And I think the styling is really good too.
Yeah.
Soyeon really stood out to me.
Yeah, I thought she looked really good. Like, she had a lot of nice outfits and stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was a really solid song. I know some people at Discord weren't a fan of it. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Like, when it first came out, I was like, it's good, but I don't think it's like super catchy at any point. But I think that's definitely like it's grown on me quite a bit. As far as the like catchy hook and stuff in the chorus.
Yeah.
So at first, like I kind of agreed with Discord people where I wasn't really blown away with it when it first came out, but yeah, it's definitely grown on me. I think I like it like a little bit less than their last comeback. I liked Feel Good a lot. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's again. I think this is pretty much what I expect from us at this point, based on their last few comebacks. And yeah, I feel like this works for them. So I think this is kind of what I expect from them going forward. Is just like, again, like you said, more of the lighthearted, like upbeat sort of cute but not like childish like sort of vibe.
Yeah.
I don't know how to really explain that, but yeah. Concept wise, I thought it was pretty cool. The actual album, like the way it looks like a passport or whatever. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah, and it has like ID card, photo cards and stuff.
Yeah, and then I thought the like actual music video was pretty cool, where it was like them like interacting through like computers and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
it was like Photoshop and Instagram and stuff.
yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a cool concept. I agree. And then finally we have Promise, which is a nice play on their name.
Yeah, I'm surprised it took them this long to have a song called Promise.
Called Promise, yeah. Since that's what their name is pronounced as in Korean. But yeah, it's just this nice like coffee shop vocal and focus song. Some really nice piano and acoustic guitar. But yeah, I thought it was a good way to end it. I forget like how good their vocals are sometimes, because they do those like super poppy songs that don't really show off vocals a lot. But they have some good vocalists. Yeah,
I like this song a lot. This reminded me of like, I guess it's kind of the equivalent of saying like any jazz is Persona vibes, but this like, because it's kind of like it sounds like a Red Velvet like Velvet track is what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Which I feel like at this point is a little bit of a shallow comment to make, because Red Velvet doesn't
any slow
like R&B-ish like vocal track. Yeah. But yeah, it's I mean that as a compliment, because yeah, this is again, like you said, like a nice like slow tempo, just nice sort of vocal showcase type of track. So yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, I thought it was a good single or single album. I like the comeback a lot, so hopefully we get more from them sooner rather than later, because it took a year or whatever, over a year.
Yeah, I think I thought this was a solid comeback. I'm still waiting for something that'll kind of like match the Love Bomb energy. I feel like everyone is. But yeah, get David Amber again, please. So yeah, that's my request from us. So yeah, overall I thought was a solid comeback. So yep.
Yeah, almost a year. It was September 2020 when we got the last one.
Yeah, it was a while ago, because I remember I was listening to, what was I listening to it with? Yeah, I was listening to Feel Good with is it Feels Good or Feel Good? I don't remember.
It's Feel Good.
Feel Good. Yeah, I was listening to that with like Lottie Da and like songs like that from last year.
It was around that time.
Yeah, it's been a while. All right. Well, overall, good little single. I hope we can get a comeback quicker this time.
Yeah.
So, yep. All right. Next up, we got Taemin with his last mini album before enlistment.
Yep.
Sad.
Yeah. So this is advice.
Yes.
Yeah.
His,
I honestly am surprised we even got something from him since Shiny.
I didn't even realize he was enlisting this year.
Oh really? Yeah.
Which makes it funny because we were seeing some like industry analyst reports or whatever, and they were like making educated guesses on what like SM groups are gonna have comebacks this year, and they said that Shiny was gonna come back on July 29th or something like that.
Oh really?
Even though Taemin is enlisting this week.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I was kind of surprised that because we got the Shiny comeback and the repackage, that I didn't think he would also release music before.
Yeah.
Before enlisting, I was kind of hoping because I first picked him in the draft. So Rip. That was a good. Well, no, it's good because
I guess it's good for this season. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I got a Shiny comeback and his solo comeback out of it. So yeah, it starts off with advice, and I absolutely love the intro of the song with the piano. The really intricate piano line throughout the song is so good. And then it drops into this hip-hop, really hip-hop focused beat. And it's just a really cool mesh of classical music and hip-hop and switching back and forth between them. I love the falsetto parts in the chorus. It's a really striking feeling, and has some nice layering with normal vocals. And yeah, it just has a really haunting vibe, the instrumentals, despite having a hip hop beat. So it's a really cool song.
Yeah, the piano gives off really sinister vibes, and I also feel like his the choreography and the type of clothing and stuff he wears is kind of Frankensteinish or Jokerish kind of.
Yeah, it's got a gothic horror vibe to it.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. I in particular really like the just sort of concept, I guess, of this. I was actually surprised. I when I booted up this album, I did not expect it to start off with a hard hip hop song. I was expecting more of Taemin's either R&B or pop sort of stuff. But I was pleasantly surprised because I thought this was a really, really good, hard hitting hip hop track. And like you said, the falsetto vocals and stuff in the chorus are super catchy.
Yeah.
I also some people, I think they thought it was annoying, but I like the the high pitched vocal sample and stuff in the post chorus. I thought that was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall this is really catchy, and I thought this was a great comeback to kind of end on before he's got to ship off for 2 years.
Yeah, I agree. Next we have Light, and I thought this had a really cool synthy experimental instrumentals, and it just slowly builds with different types of synths, and how even the beat is entirely synths just plus some snapping. It's just a really cool experimental instrumental, and it's a much more chill song compared to Advice. The vocals are pretty soft, but it still kind of gets you grooving. I thought the vocals in the bridge were really good too.
Yeah, this song is more what I expected to be as the title track. It's more in line with Taemin or even Shiny as a group activity. Yep. But yeah, like you said, the synths in this are really clean. I like those a lot. And again, the kind of boom, boom, boom sort of percussive synth that kind of marches along throughout the song is really catchy. You can bop your head to it quite aggressively. So yeah. This was a lot of fun. I'd like to see choreography to this because I feel like maybe they might have considered this as a title track at some point because it feels exactly like something he would release as one.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was a really nice track as well.
Yep. Next we have If I Could Tell You featuring Taeyeon,
featuring the queen herself.
Yep. And I think like the melody from the synths at the beginning got me hooked like instantly. It has like a really like open, like naturey feeling to it. And I think Taeyeon's vocals fit it perfectly. And the like fast singing section was really impressive, and especially because both of them did it. Like that part was really cool.
Yeah. I feel like this is probably my favorite on the album, but I feel like it's heavily influenced by my Taeyeon bias, just because I love Taeyeon so much on anything. Like, I feel like she is just such a good, like, artist to collaborate with, because she fits in really well on duets with male singers.
Yeah.
Like every time I can think of, like with Crush, with Taemin here, even with Jonghyun back on his Lonely, like she always like comes in like so like fits in so well with the male vocalists.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like both of them have like really nice like delicate like sort of vocals on this song, and I think it just gives it this nice feeling to it. So yeah, I love this song a lot.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
I think like you said, the beat is very also like kind of atmospheric as well, and I think that adds to the like airiness, I guess, of the song.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep. Yeah, for me it felt like it was like I don't know, like a really outdoor like sitting on a porch, like just staring out into the woods or whatever feeling in the morning.
In the morning,
like
I get the feeling more like I can see like the sitting out on your back porch or whatever, and I'm thinking like staring out into the stars or something.
Or
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But,
next we have Strings, and I thought this had like really nice classic like rock guitar style at the beginning with his vocals, and then it's interesting because it's another like slow song, but it like has a bit more intensity to build off of.
Yeah.
And then it drops into this like dubstep synth drop, but it somehow works because it's like how super deep and like super subtle. It's not like in your face. That like it was out of nowhere and unexpected, but I thought it worked. And I thought like I thought the vocal synth sample like with the melodic hook was pretty effective. Like it was really catchy to me. I was wondering though, is there a female backing vocal to this song? Because I couldn't tell if it was a female vocalist, like uncredited female vocalist, or if it was just Taemin's modified vocals. Like,
I don't know.
It's hard to tell.
I feel like Taemin's voice is already like a little bit like feminine to begin with, so
yeah,
I feel like you could easily achieve that by modifying. But there might be another singer on there. Who knows?
There were just like a couple parts where the vocals, like the backing vocals, sounded like different than Taemin. That I was like, maybe this isn't modified, but it's weird that they have just an uncredited female vocalist on the song. And I like tried to Google around to see if anyone was talking about like who it was or if there was backing, and I couldn't. So I was like, okay, maybe it is just Taemin's vocals like modified, but
yeah,
I wasn't sure.
I think that drop you're talking about, I feel like it works because it like properly like builds up to it, and it kind of like mid drops. I feel like the build up is what makes that so effective, and then like the actual chorus kind of stays right in that like same sort of area, I guess, if that makes sense.
Right.
Bad with music words, but yeah. So yeah, overall I thought this was also one of the stronger songs on the album. Like aside from Advice, this or If I Could Tell You is probably my favorite of the B-sides. So
yeah, I think that one's probably my favorite. This one, or like this song.
Yeah, I think this and Advice, they work really well because they play like really well on the like hip hop like sort of influences, and I think this like combined with like you said, like kind of classic like guitar like kind of holding the beat, I think it works really well. More of a R&B influence, I guess, as far as that goes. But yeah. And
then we end on Sad Kids, which is a Two Kids follow-up. from his last album, which was like a pre-release single.
Mm.
But I thought it was it's a nice like mellow start with like really deep vocals, and then it just builds to this like uplifting chorus. The only thing I wasn't a fan of the effect they use on his voice for the "We are just sad kids getting lost" line. They use like a weird effect on his voice that I wasn't a huge fan of, but I thought the rest of the vocals were great.
Yeah, I think this was a strong track to like lead off on, but I think this is probably my least favorite on the album, just because I think it stands out the least of the B-sides.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see why they'd put something like this at the end, just kind of wrap it up. And like you said, I think it's cool that they did it as a like follow up to the last song. So yeah. Yeah, overall again it's kind of more of a uplifting sort of ballad type song. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I thought it was a great mini.
Yeah,
I didn't
awesome.
think there was anything bad on it at all.
Yeah, nothing that's like straight into the trash. So yeah, I thought everything was at least like really good as like a baseline. Everything is just really good on this. So yeah, especially again that song with Taeyeon. I love it so much.
Yeah.
So yeah,
A little biased there.
Yeah, a little biased, but I love Taemin, I love Taeyeon, so perfect combo.
Yep.
So yeah, overall this is a great album, and I think yeah, I'm going to miss having Taemin comebacks and stuff, because he always like releases really good like solo content. Like yeah, I'd say Taemin's probably easily my favorite like SM like soloist for on the male side. So
yeah.
So yep. So yeah, I guess check this out for sure if you haven't already. I'm sure you have, because it's Taemin, why wouldn't you? So yep. All right. And then lastly, we have another like absolutely fantastic mini album, at least in my opinion. I don't know what Nate feels about it yet, but yeah, Heize with Happen. So this is basically her first mini album with P Nation. After signing with Size label. Yep. So now she's with Size label P Nation. And honestly, so just spoiler, I think this is like her best like release ever so far. Like this is like really, really great stuff. I hope like if how this turned out is as a result of her having resources from her new label. I really love whatever they're doing now. Like it could be like all her like just wanting to like try something else, but yeah, like this is the kind of like variation I've been kind of looking for in Heize, because I feel like while I've enjoyed everything she's released so far, like I think we kind of talked about this in the podcast before, was like if you like Heize, you'll love like whatever like she's releasing, but like I felt like it was getting a little bit monotonous for me. Just like because it wasn't as like varied style wise, I guess, or between releases. So yeah, I mean I could see how somebody would feel the same way about like Bullpugon, for example, even though like I just love anything that now she releases. So yeah, I get it. And yeah, I think this was a much needed like breath of fresh air as far as like style and stuff goes. So anyway, as far as the actual like tracks go, the first is Happen, and this is like something that I would have expected the Heize's like single to sound like, or whatever. Like this sounds like what I expect from Heize, but that at the same time, like this is a super like really effective, like just nice catchy like Heize R&B type track. Like the chorus is really catchy. I was like whistling it like as soon as I like heard it like around the house that day. Yeah, her like basically signature like falsetto-ish like high like vocals and stuff, and the chorus is just super catchy, really nice. And I think just because I'd kind of taken a break from like listening to Heize a lot, that when this came back I was like really, really into it. Also, as far as instrumentals go, like the bass and stuff like that in this was I guess kind of a new retro like sort of vibe. I really really love that. Um, like again, we've talked about before. That's like my favorite trend in music is like the retro inspired stuff. So I was
Yeah.
super happy with this, especially with the bass line in this song. So yeah, overall, I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same boat. Like I kind of stopped listening to Heize's stuff over the last few releases just because I've always enjoyed her stuff, but it was getting kind of samey. Um, but yeah, I thought this is one of her best releases as an album.
Yeah,
But yeah, for the song Happen, I thought it had a really nice like acoustic guitar to start. And then yeah, like you were saying that like switching to that really funky bass line, which like builds to a nice like funk section before bringing back those like chill acoustic guitars was great. I like how the song kept like ebbing and flowing in intensity. While Heize had this like through line of the vocals. And like you're saying, I really like the vocal melody. It was really catchy. It almost sounded to me like a hymn or like something that would be sung in church, like the melody of it. But yeah, it was still like catchy despite that.
it's actually funny you say that because I kind of had a similar thought about a later song, a certain part in a later song.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, overall Happen, I think this is pretty much exactly like what I kind of wanted something like still in the Heize style, but like a little bit like new and just like more energy, I guess. And I feel like she really delivered with that, just on that track alone. So the next track is like the first time. This is more of a traditional Heize song, I think, compared to Happen. Again, it's like just a nice like piano instrumental with Heize's nice vocals and stuff. And then you know, towards the end, like Gary's Kangari's like rap at the end, which I thought was quite good, but I felt like it dragged on a little too long within the song because I felt like the whole like last half of the song was kind of taken up by his rap section. I mean, it was good, but yeah, it just kind of dragged on a little long for a rap feature in a K-pop song at least. But yeah, it was nice. And then also like the sort of like violin, like cinematic, like violin section that kind of comes in during his rap. That part was cool as far as like the energy goes. It reminds me of like older like IU music, like You and I and like stuff like that. So it's very not cinematic but theatrical, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked this. I liked how it started with that like traditional piano and strings, and it had a like haunting vibe similar to Advice from Taemin, or like with the vocals this time though. Like the vocals were pretty haunting, and that was like a nice contrast to the last song.
Yeah,
and yeah, I thought her vocals were fantastic, and I really loved Gary's feature. I could see it being too long, but like him rapping over that piano, like just brings me back to like Isong days. Yeah, which I listen to Isong a lot. So, it fit that vibe really well. Yeah. And the instrumentals in the song just might be like some of my favorite instrumentals in a long time. Like there's just some really beautiful piano and string parts. Like you said, it's like a very cinematic feeling.
Yeah. All right, next up we have Flu, which is featuring Changmo. And this is one of my like there's 4 songs on the album, Happen, and then the Flu is the second one on the list of 4. Unordered list. I really can't pick a favorite, but of the 4 on the list, this is the second one that appears on the track list. Anyway, this song apparently was produced by Tablo, so I think that's part of the reason why I really enjoy this song a lot. Like I think this straight up sounds like something that would like appear on a newer Epic High album, so I think it makes sense. The hard hitting like hip hop beat and stuff, like it's nice and it's dark and it's hard hitting and it's just like Heize's like sort of like bright and like light vocals. I think the contrast with that and the dark and like punchy instrumental, it just like works really well. And the like chorus is super catchy. Changmo's rap was actually really good on this. I thought it fit perfectly with the beat. Um, yeah, overall, this is a super strong song. I think this might be the song I listened to the most.
Yeah, I thought this was great. This is like more of like traditional Heize doing like the hip hop style with her vocals, like, and her doing like her melodic rapping and stuff at the start.
Yeah.
I thought Changmo's rap was really good. I liked the vocal layering a lot that was it during it. And her once his rap was over, like Heize comes back with like a more higher pitch singing, and I thought that contrasted really well with the rap.
Yeah. All right. Next up is Why. So again, this is another one of the ones that's more so the songs that I like the most were the ones that were, I guess, most a version of what she normally does.
Yeah.
So this is more like traditional of what she usually does, but again, like it's been a while since I've actively listened to Heize, so like I'm it doesn't offend me at all. Like this it never did to begin with. Like I always liked Heize. It was just like kind of like how we were feeling with G-Friend like a few years ago, where it was kind of like just wanted a little bit more change.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyways, this is just a really chill, like sort of like mid-tempo, like sort of song, with more like understated type vocals. And yeah, it's kind of like retro-ish as well, like with the instrumental. It's like 80s style, so it's pretty nice.
Yeah, I probably have the least to say about the song too, but yeah, it's classic Heize vocals. It's over a nice retro bass line, like you were saying. I did like the chanting backing vocals throughout the song. I thought that was a nice touch. But overall, I thought it was just pretty good, pretty solid song, but pretty standard for Heize.
Yep. All right, so this is number 3 on the list of 4. The Walking Dead, which features Kim Field. This is absolutely like this song is absolutely immaculate. Like it's just beautiful. Like this reminds me like vibe wise of like what's the song called? I think it's called Secret Garden on IU's Flower Bookmark. I think that's the name of the song.
Okay.
It reminds me of one of the songs on Flower Bookmark Part 2. I think it's called Secret Garden. Just vibe wise, not necessarily musically, but yeah, just like really nice, like sort of like folkish instrumentals with like just like pianos, violins, guitars, stuff like that. It's just really nice. I think in general, like over the past couple years, I've gotten more and more fond of the almost kind of Americana like sort of influence on like songs. So yeah, I really love the naturey like feel of this song. And I haven't even gotten into like her vocals. Like her vocals just sound beautiful in this song. Like they're just like this might be my favorite like vocally Heize song like ever. And then Kim Field, the feature, like his like deeper like male vocals, they pair so well with hers like on this song, and I'm super 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 happy with how this turned out. So to get back to like the thing I said, like the part that looks like it sounds like a Christian hymn, the part where he's like doing alone like part that kind of reminded me of like a Christian pop song or something, like which isn't a bad thing. I just thought I remember like laughing to myself in the car when I was listening to this when that part came on. Like somebody probably thought I was listening to like Christian music or something.
I really like this song a lot too. I thought it was a nice acoustic ballad, like you said. It has like a folk vibe to it. I like how the guitar is like really quiet, which helps like the echoing vocals stick out. But yeah, there's just some really nice airy vocals. It's really uplifting. I thought Kim Field's vocals complemented Heize's really well.
Yeah, the pairing was so good.
And the violin was a really great touch too. But yeah, I pretty much agree with what you're saying. Like it's just a nice like folk vibe that we don't really get very often from K-pop.
Yeah. All right. So up next, the fourth in the series of the songs that I like the most is "From the Rain," which features An Yeon, and this song is crazy. Like it never would have occurred to me that you'd be able to make a song like this work.
Mm-hmm.
So like it starts off with like Heize's sort of like it's a typical sort of like Heize like ballad with a little bit of like R&B influences in there.
Yep.
And but it incorporates like I believe at least like Korean like instrumentals and stuff,
Yeah.
like traditional stuff. And like halfway through the song it like morphs into, which I believe is An Yeon's feature. Like sort of like a traditional Korean like sort of vocal style as well. And it just it works really cool cuz like the song structure is like very pop music, but it's using these like traditional influences on top of it, and I think it just works really well. Like this
Mm-hmm.
is definitely the most like interesting song on the album, I think. Just that they were able to make something like this work, because I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I think this is my favorite song. I
Yeah.
really love the like Eastern instrumental, like Eastern string instruments. And having Anya and do that traditional like Korean style of singing was a really cool touch.
Yeah.
It it helps it stand out because, like you were saying, it if it had more Western instrumentals, and like standard feature of vocals, it would probably feel similar to the last few songs and be pretty
Yeah.
standard for a Heize song. But it was really cool to like mix it up and have this traditional Korean sound mixed in. And they even threw in like some electric guitar to like contrast with that. Like
Yeah.
they have the like couple really small like electric guitar licks that even mix it up like even more. So yeah, I love this song. This was definitely my favorite.
Yeah, that I was like blown away when I heard this come on the like when it like when Anyeon's like feature like came in, I was blown away by that. I was not expecting that at all. So
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that like makes this album like stand out in her library for me, is just because she's trying all these new things, and I think it
Yep.
just works so well. Um, yeah. Wrapping up, this is like the last like full like vocal song at least on the album, Hi Hello, and yeah, this is more of a like again like Heize sort of song, like um which I hate to describe it that way because it's like, what does that even mean? But like anybody who's heard Heize, like they know what she sounds like. It sounds like something like this, you might imagine.
Hmm.
But yeah, overall this is a really nice ballad. It's just got really nice vocals, kind of just a nice simple like guitar sort of instrumental, and yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, I think I agree. Like this one was pretty standard. I really like the short like staccato guitar and synth parts though.
Mm,
It was like a very like bouncy like
yeah.
short feeling to them. But yeah, I thought it was just pretty solid. Like great vocals, great instrumental.
Yeah.
Like the
I
rest of the
mean,
album.
stuff like this is like kind of what you come to Hayes for and to begin with.
Yeah,
So like I
exactly.
really can't complain about stuff like that. Like like what I was saying before, like I feel like I keep having to reiterate it because it's not a negative that it's like Hayes style, even though we were kind
Standard.
of
Yeah.
a little bit tired on it before. But like I think within the context of the album, it works really well.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I wouldn't like you wouldn't want the whole album to be like different, like very different and out there. Like
yeah, yeah.
that would this like helps tie it together.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. Like it helps her feel cohesive
yep.
and fit in with her like the rest of her catalog and stuff. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. Um so yeah, lastly it's Destiny. It's just a tiny dot. And this is
Yep.
basically just like kind of a outro to, sort of put a ribbon around the whole album basically.
Yeah.
Tie it up. And yeah, it's like a nice like guitar sort of little like outro, and I think it fits the vibe of the rest of the album perfectly.
Yep.
Um like I guess if you were to approximate the vibe of the album, this is what it would sound like. Like it's got like those sort of like theatrical sort of like IU-esque kind of feel with the strings. I was trying to remember like what kind of instrument that was on the top side. But yeah, like guitar with like some strings and stuff like that. It's just it's interesting. It feels fitting, I guess. So I think this outro is necessary. I think it like really helps the cohesion of the like the whole project together, and it makes it feel like it was a purposeful like album, I guess. So yeah, I couldn't be more happy with this album actually.
Yeah, I pretty much agree. I think it gives a nice closure to the album. Like you said, it matches the themes of the album really well. Just having the strings and acoustic guitar, instrumental like ending. Yeah, I thought it was a great way to end it, and I thought the album as a whole was fantastic.
I guess the way I'd actually describe the feeling I get from Destiny is just a tiny dot is it's kind of like mysterious and cliffhangery actually. That's kind of the feeling I get from it. So it kind of makes me want more from her. Like I want to see what more she's like thinking about trying in her next album.
Yeah,
because apparently I think I remember reading in Discord she's already working on another full album. So yeah, I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. See how that turns out.
So yeah, I'm super like this might be my mini album of the year so far actually. Like I'm really happy with it. Either this or Wendy for mini album of the year so far.
Yeah.
We're only less than half the year in, so that could easily change by the end of the year, but yeah, so far those are the releases I'm really feeling. And then for full album stuff like IU is usually in the running, but
yeah, IU and Jonah probably for me.
Yep. Yeah, so I think we're having a pretty strong year so far as like albums and stuff go. So
yeah, I think it's been a pretty good release. Oh yeah, NCT Dream for full album as well.
Oh yeah, that was a good album too.
That album was really good. I think it's been a pretty good year so far. So we'll see how the rest of the year turns out. If we can keep up with that.
Yep. So I guess with that we've pretty much covered all of the releases we wanted to talk about this week. Yeah, over like everything that came out this week was at least like pretty good. I in particular was really enamored with aespa and Heize and Taemin, so yeah, I was really excited to talk about those
Fromis.
this week. Yeah, I mean Fromis was good, but like I said, it's not like it was blowing me away. It was more like kind of what I expected.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Yeah, it was good, but nothing
Whereas
crazy.
I feel like Heize, Taemin, and aespa were all like really surprising in some way, at least some way.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall really really strong week. So yep. So with that, I guess catch us in a couple weeks. Remember, you pre-sale tickets for the podcast fest are still going.
Yep.
We'll link that stuff in the description, so you can check that out. After that, how much are tickets? 15 or 10? I forget.
They're $15 if you don't get them before the pre-sale.
If you don't get the pre-sale. Okay.
And that ends June 6th, I believe.
Yeah. And then remember, this stuff is going towards charity, so not that you have to get a ticket, but like it would be really cool and you'd be helping a cool cause. So
yep.
With that, I guess I'll just take us out. If you enjoy the podcast, please subscribe to our YouTube, leave us a good review on iTunes. That helps a lot. Or whatever podcast service you use. I don't even know. Does Spotify have reviews for podcasts? I don't think so. Yeah.
No.
So yeah,
I tried looking once and I couldn't find anything.
Yeah, I didn't think so anyway, because you can't do reviews on songs.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, yeah, so that helps a lot. Like our videos, comment your thoughts on the albums. And then join our Discord. We have tons of cool activities and stuff going on. So Feel free to join if you need cool, you know, community to talk about K-pop and stuff like that. So, yep. Thank you and goodbye. And stay next level.
Stay throbbingly next level.
Yeah, like the really nice like full like bassy like synths and stuff is really what like got me into this one. I was like, as soon as I heard those, I was like hooked right in. Yeah, like this is I can't like choose a favorite B-side on this because like